Hello, my loves, and welcome to my channel. I am so grateful that you are here. Thank you for spending the time to be here with me, taking the time for yourself to dive deeper into this work in your own life. If this is your first time here, or you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit the button below. Also, check out all the details in the description. There are amazing free gifts that you can go and grab for yourself, as well as options of working with me one-on-one, also very accessible options, as well as some upcoming courses that are happening again live. For the month of February, this is a very exciting thing. There is a giveaway happening this entire month, February 2022. We are in the 222 portal. And it is also my birthday month. So I'm very excited about this. And on top of that, this is going to be the official launch, so to say, for the YouTube channel. This is the celebration of what we're creating here together, how aligned it feels for me to be able to show up here for you. And so basically we are celebrating all of February, and there are some incredible prizes that you can win. So make sure you click the link at the very top of the description. It's going to take you to the page that shows you all the things on what you can win, how to enter all the details, but I will just give you the quick rundown right now. There are a handful of very fun prizes to be won. I'm going to be giving them out and announcing the winners at the end of February. If you are interested in winning some of these amazing prizes, it is very simple to enter this giveaway. You need to like and comment on a video. That counts as one entry. You need to subscribe. That counts as another entry. And you can share the YouTube channel or a video to a social page, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you show up online. If you do the share, you're going to need to tag me or send me a screenshot so that I can see it. You can do that at Decluttered Intentions on my Instagram page. You can enter as many times as you want. You can comment on as many videos as you want. You can like as many videos as you want. You can only subscribe once, but you can share it as many times as you want. So I'm so excited to welcome and invite you into this challenge, into this giveaway for this month, and to just really celebrate what we're creating here together, this information, this community. And I'm just really, truly so grateful for you being here. I feel so aligned, like I said, with being able to do this and share this. And we are in this incredible energy portal of 222. It's amazing. So let's dive into today's video. We are talking about the purpose of pleasure, the power of pleasure, and how pleasure is really key to tapping into an existence of being in flow, right? If you caught one of the previous videos, we talked about masculine versus feminine energy. I will link that above so that you can go check that out afterwards. But in this scale of masculine versus feminine energy, we want to find balance between the two. And I'm not going to dive into it too much. You can go check out the video. But the idea is that if we are too much in the masculine energy, which most of us tend to be because that is how society has conditioned us, then we need to tap more into the feminine. And the idea is that we want to find our way to flow in between those two. And oftentimes, if we are heavy in that masculine energy, it means tapping into more of the feminine. So with this in mind, how do we really tap into this flow? One of the phrases that I love to use all the time, and my clients will know these very well, is that we want to create a structure that guides you, not confines you. Okay. This can then kind of become a little bit of a difficult balance to create when we are such structure focused people, right? The structure feels good. It feels like there's direction. It feels like there's purpose. But then how do we lean out of the structure so that we don't start to fall into hustle and burnout and overworking, trying to adhere so strictly to the structure, right? So that's really where flow comes in. And flow is something that we talk a lot about incorporating with rest. And that's why rest is a crucial part of the strategies that I teach. When we slow down, when we give our bodies time to tap back in to that rest and digest mode in our nervous system, that's where we give ourselves that space to come to this calming place and we can tap back into flow. Okay. But at the same time, we're busy human beings. And I know that really creating intentional rest blocks, I want to say is not always possible. It is always possible. We always have the time to create those things. But if you're starting out on your journey and you don't feel like it's possible at this point in time, first of all, know that it is. Know that we can create that, that you are capable of having that in your life. But two, let's start out a little bit slow on the lower side of things, okay? So when we talk about pleasure, pleasure is really the key to tapping into flow. And one of the things that is really important to talk about is the conditioning that has taught us that pleasure is bad, that pleasure is evil, that it's bad to have desires, especially as women. Okay. If you are identifying as a woman, if you have been raised under these gendered constructs, then you most likely will resonate with what I'm sharing here. Okay. You might also have just seen things on TV and internalized things in certain ways. So this is really open to anyone who can resonate, who can take this on, and you can always tune in and see how things feel for you, right? Does this feel in alignment for you? Yes or no, regardless of what your location in life is, okay? So most of us, however, have been raised in under the condition that it is bad to feel pleasure. It is not right to have desires. And when we look back through our ancestral lines, what we see is that women who stood out and who stood tall and were seen were often in grave danger, right? They were burned at the stick, if we're talking about witches in Salem, or they were not trusted, or the words that they spoke weren't taken seriously. So there are so many narratives that as we go down the generational lines back into today, that we have internalized, and then we act on those things, right? We don't feel like it's safe to be seen. You don't feel like it's safe to be heard. You have these big goals and dreams, but you downplay them, or you don't really believe that they're fully possible for you because there's fears that are tied up in them, right? And when we think about actually moving towards those pleasures, the outcome that you want, but also the journey of getting to that outcome, just being in that pleasure often doesn't feel safe, right? I hear this all the time, that my clients and people who share with me in my community, that they have a really hard time resting. It's really hard to slow down and not do anything because there always feels like there's something else that needs to get done, right? So this is a great example of where it doesn't feel like we deserve pleasure. If you believe that you need to wait to deserve pleasure, so you need to have it as a reward, have rest as a reward, have pleasure as a reward, and you can only have it if you've completed your entire to-do list, or if you've done all the chores, or if the kids are settled in bed. Like, these are all conditions that we create around our pleasure. Does that make sense? Let that sink in. Your pleasure is conditional because of the conditions that we have been raised on. Okay. This doesn't need to be true. And the key piece of pleasure here is that when we tap into pleasure, we actually give ourselves permission and the opportunity to begin to regulate our nervous system. Okay. When we are in a state of go, 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 hustle, 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 I need to get everything checked off the to-do list, we are strongly in our masculine energy. And there's amazing superpowers that the masculine energy has. And again, you can go watch that video to get the full rundown on that. However, if we lean too heavily into that energy, we start to get into this place of pushing and forcing and pressure, and we start to feel fatigued. We start to have problems making decisions. We start to feel burnt out, overwhelmed, stressed, and our nervous system is ending up in this chronic state of stress. Okay. And this is true for most of us. We're all living at a heightened level of now normalized stress. Okay. So when we tap into pleasure on a daily basis, when we have this pleasure practice, when we start making it safe again for us to tap into that pleasure, again, it can be a trauma response for a lot of us, especially collectively as women, thinking back into the past generations where it wasn't safe to feel pleasure. It wasn't safe to live your truth and be authentically yourself, right? So having this practice of tapping into this pleasure is how we connect back into flowing. It's how we move through this strict structure that we have in place and find more time and space within that. And it's also how we create this safety around slowing down and around resting and around tending and caring to ourselves, right? So this is the power of pleasure. And I really want you to just consider where pleasure shows up for you in your life, and if you feel like you can tap into it. And I'm going to leave you with one aligned action for today. It's really simple. And it's really just starting to practice finding pleasure in your daily mundane life. Okay. When you're going out for a walk, when you're driving in your car to work, as you drink your morning coffee, as you sit in bed at night, maybe you read, maybe you're just getting into bed while you're cooking dinner, while you're outside somewhere, when you meet your friend. Okay, just think of all the ways that you can tap into pleasure. Oh, the sun feels so good on my skin right now. This cup of coffee is so perfect. It's exactly what I needed. It was so sweet that my spouse or partner remembered to fill up gas in the car. That was such a weight off my plate this morning. I didn't have to go do that. Where can you find these simple pleasures in your daily life? That's how we start to tap into flow. And instead of constantly being in a state of this chronic stress where we're always thinking about the next thing, we start to tap into enjoyment. And you are allowed to experience enjoyment on a daily basis, on a consistent basis, on a minute by minute basis. Okay. This is yours to take. You have complete permission to receive this. And starting with this very simple practice of incorporating it in very small ways is going to be the way that you make pleasure and receiving pleasure start to feel safe for you. Okay. And this is going to be the crucial key piece to creating more time for yourself, to up leveling in your business or in your career, to making more income, to hitting those income goals in your business, to being able to be more present with your partner or your spouse or your kids, to have deeper relationships and connections. This is the key, because when you are tapped into this and you're connected to yourself and your body and what your own internal needs and wants and desires are, that's when you are open to receiving exactly what you want and communicating and standing in that authentic truth. Okay. Let me know below in the comments how this video resonated with you, what your biggest takeaway was. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share the channel or a video from the channel so that you can be entered in the very fun giveaway that we have for this beautiful portal month of February 2022. And like I said, make sure you click the description, the top link, to go and check out exactly what this giveaway is really about. And you can get all the details there as well. All right, my loves, beautiful souls, I wish you a lovely rest of your day, rest of your week, and I cannot wait to celebrate with you for the rest of this month.